Hello and welcome into Rebecca K Crochet. I'm Becky, your yarn host, and today what we are going to do is we are going to work up this granny square. I do not have a name for it. I just think it's really pretty done in multicolored yarn with white. So the yarn that I'm using today is Premier's Just 1 pound. I got this from the Dollar Tree. I have a lot of this. It's 982 yards, 100% acrylic. It is 898 meters. The color is white. You can wash and dry this in machine wash on cold, tumble dry. Do not use an iron on it. No, do not take it and have it like dry cleaned. It's a 4-weight and it calls for a 5.5 millimeter hook. It's tested and approved against 350 harmful substances. I am using also the Hobby Lobby I Love This yarn. It's a print. Its name is Candy Stick Stash. Say that real fast. That's a tongue twister. This one calls for a I9 5.5 millimeter hook as well. It is a 4-weight. It's wash and dryable on cold. It also has 252 yards or 230 meters. And this is my multicolored that's in the middle of this. And then I also am using a Susan Bates 6 millimeter hook instead of a 5.5 because I crochet tight. If you know that you crochet loose, then you will want to do the 5.5 millimeter hook, but I crochet pretty tight. Also, you're going to need a needle and a pair of scissors. And with that, let's get started. Okay, so for this one we are going to chain 4, which I have already done. We are going to go back into the first chain the very first chain that we did, the 4th chain from the hook. We're going to bring up a loop, put our finger down here to hold where our hole is, pull through all the loops. We're going to chain 3. We're going to go back down into this stitch right here. And we are going to do 2 more double crochets. I chain 2, 2 more double crochets, working over our tail. Lots more yarn here. 1 more double crochet, so a total of 3 double crochets. Chain 2, 3 more double crochets. Chain 2, and 1 more set of 3 double crochets. So we should have a total of 4 sets of granny clusters, which is your 3 double crochets. Now what we're going to do here is we are going to chain 2, snug our work down. Our tail should be coming out, and we can snug that tail down. Then at the top of this stitch, we are going to slip stitch after our chain 2, and then we are going to cut our work, pull it out, snug it down, and we are going to get our next color. We're going to put a slip stitch on our hook, I think you're getting ready to, nope, she went down. I was gonna say, you might be getting ready to see Cog. She just jumped out of her box. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the granny cluster, the 3 stitches that we have. And in between the first and the second stitch, we are going to do a standing single crochet. I can do that. We're going to chain 3. And we're going to go back into this one with a single crochet. We're going to chain 3. This is a brand new skein of yarn. We're going to work over our tail when we can. We're going to skip these 2 and work into this cluster right here. We're going to skip over our corner, working over this cluster. We're going to single crochet, chain 3, single crochet into the next, between the next 2, working over our tail, chain 3. We're going to skip this one, and we're going to go into this one. In our next cluster, we're going to do a single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, skip the next 2 and go in the middle of the granny cluster with a single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, skip over these 2, and we're going to attach on the top of this single crochet right here. We're going to fasten off, and we are going to bring back our white. So we're going to be alternating every row, and we'll just work over our tails the whole way. And this is what you should look like right now. And then we are going to, now we're going to start with our white again, or your main color, whatever your main color is going to be. Slip stitch or slip knot, and in our corners that we skipped on this row, we are going to do a standing double crochet, three and 2 more double crochets. Now, how you find your corner is that you know that you have this one and this one in there, and then you have 2 that are separate, and your corners are those 2 that are separated. You can tell that this one and this one's not a corner, but these 2 are. So you work over both of those into that corner. Then you're going to have to chain 1. You're going to put this tail down, and you are going to go into the next corner. Well, actually, you're going to chain 2 and work your corner again. 3 more double crochets. Here comes Cog. Nope, she jumped down. Chain 1 and go into the next corner right here with 3 more double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Chain 2, 3 double crochets. Chain 1. Okay, we have our chain 1. Then we are going to go and do the corner over here on this side with 3 double crochets. Chain 2, 3 more double crochets. And we are working over both yarns into the white space. We're going to chain one, and we're going to work into this next corner, and we work over this one and this one. I don't think I told you that earlier. I don't think I made that real clear. And any tails that you have, work over those with a chain or a 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, so I've got my corner. I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to attach to this stitch right here. Fasten off. And this is what you should be looking like so far. Now we are going to start again with our variegated yarn, or whatever color you choose, with a slip stitch. And we are going to start in the middle right here of this row right here. And we are going to, of this stitch right here. We have one here, and one here, so we're going to go on this side, do a standing single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3. We're going to skip over our corner again, go into this part of the corner with a single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, and we're going to work that all the way across. We're going to skip this, go into this stitch right here, chain 3, go into the next cluster in the middle of the other side of the middle stitch, skip over the next 2, and in the middle of this cluster we're going to single crochet, chain 3, single crochet back down inside of the other side of that stitch, chain 3, skip over, go to the next cluster in between the first and the second, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet in the other side of the stitch, chain 3, skip over the next 2 stitches in the middle of the, between the first and the second stitch, single crochet, chain 3, and then single crochet on the other side, chain 3, skip over to your next cluster, and this is a repeat all the way around. Skip over your corner, go into the next one, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, whoa, pulled up my tail here that I did not work over, single crochet, chain 3, and then go into the slip stitch into the single crochet down below and fasten off. Oops. Now this is what we are looking like so far. Looks like a mess right now. But this is what we look like so far. Now we're going to add back on our white with a slip knot. And we just repeat this all the way around again. So now we're going to build on onto our next stitches. So what we want to do with this one is we want to go into the middle of the row with this one, and we're going to be working over that chain 3 space. So what I'm going to do is you can start with a slip stitch and a chain 3. I like to do the standing double crochet. I think it looks neater. And we're going to go into this space right here. You have your corner here, and then you have, okay, so let's look at this real quick. So you have your corner here. Right here's your corner in that space. You have 3, your corner, and then 3 where your stitches are. And then here you have your granny space. This is a granny square. You have your granny space right here, and then you have your corner over here. So what you're going to do is you're going to go in this middle space right here. It may be easier to see on this side without the stitches there. So you have your corner, your space, and your corner. Your white is always going to be working into your white. You're not going to be working into your colors. You're going to go down in the row below. So we're going to do a standing double crochet again. Into that space right here. Doesn't matter which space you choose. And we're going to do 2 more double crochets. You just don't want to do the corner. Chain 1, and then we're going to go into the corner right here, working over our color and our white, and do 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Actually, I'm going to pull that back over this way. Cog is in there with her baby, if you hear the baby. That's my cat. And she has a little one. You may be hearing she's talking to her. 3 more double crochets. Then we need to do a chain 1. And then we go down into this space with 3 double crochets. Chain 1, and then we're back in the corner again. So we're going to do our corner stitch, which is 2 double crochets. Chain 2, 2 double crochets. Or 3 double crochets, sorry, did I say 2? I have another pattern on my brain, I think. Then we're going to go into this stitch right here in the middle with 3 more double crochets. Chain 1, 3 more double crochets, chain 2 and 3 double crochets in the corner. You can make this as big as you want to. You can make a blanket out of this stitch if you want to. It'd be a beautiful blanket. And that may be what I do with this, is go on with a blanket instead. Chain 1, go back into this space. Instead of putting it in my blanket that I'm making, we'll see how I like it. I may do this as a blanket, a baby blanket, or a throw or something. Now we're going to go chain 1 and go in our corner, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 more double crochets, Now we are going to chain 1. We were back at where we started, so we are going to fasten off. And that is what we are looking like so far. So now we repeat these rounds until we make it as big as we want to. So we will start with our color again, our variegated. The one thing I want to tell you is whenever you start with your variegated, you always want to start in the middle of your row, like right here. And whenever you start with your white, you will come and you will start right before the corner, right before this corner space. You'll go into this one. So I am going to start right here in the middle of my row with a standing single crochet, and that the only thing that is, let me show you right quick in case you're not catching what I'm doing. I start with a slip knot on my hook, tighten it down a little bit, put my finger on my slip knot. I go in between the two and I pull up a loop. So I have 2 loops on my hook and pull through both of those loops, and the standing single crochet is done. Chain 3 and do another single crochet. Chain 3, go in these 2, the first one, between the first and the second, single crochet, chain 3, between the second and the third, single crochet, chain 3, skip over our corner, go between the first and the second stitch, single crochet, chain 3, the second and the third stitch, single crochet, chain 3, and you repeat that all the way around until you come back to your where you started, and then you will go and you will do the white round all over again. And I'll come back whenever it gets, I'll put in a couple more rows on, and I'll come back and show you what this looks like. Okay, so here's what your granny square block looks like, and I wanted to show you one thing that you don't want to do whenever you are weaving in your ends on the back side. You don't want to carry them across too many. Like I started it here and I carried it here, and I did this for an example. I carried it here and then over here. Well, you can see it here, and you don't want to see that. So if that happens and you happen to pull it or cross it too far, it's okay to have it under this one, but I don't, you can do it if you want to. I don't, because it's the back side. I don't like it on the back side because people do look at the back side of your work also. I like to have my back side as even as possible and as nice looking as possible. So I will take it, and we're coming out underneath this stitch right here. So I will go back across over this one, and with the green one I may go over to this one as well, to the blue one. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to go across this one, and then I am going to go down. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to go down into this blue stitch and come out the blue stitch. And because I've worked over my work and I have a knot in it, it should be okay. It should not come out. And that's how I hide my tails, where you won't be able to even see that it's there. This one, same thing, only I will work over this one in my next stitch that I do up here. with this, I'll work over this one, so we're okay there. Because the white you can work over with, because the white's going to be right here. You'll work over the white, but this is what your stitch looks like. Or what your granny square looks like. You make this as wide as you want it. Like I said, this would be a really pretty blanket. I hope you like and subscribe if you made it this far. Hit the bell notification. Drop me a line, a text message, or a message in the chat. Let me know what you think. And I will see you on the next one. Have a great day.